we are back in from the break of number one forum for Bama football news. In my own words, yours truly, Stephen M. Smith, Touchdown Alabama Magazine. Now the part you've all been waiting for, looking at this defense and one Pete Golding. This is the coach that we all would like to isolate on a deserted island and go, it's your fault, it's your fault. You're the reason the defense is struggling. You're the reason the defense is bad. You're the reason the defense is cursed. You're the reason why Bama is not elite as it needs to be on the defensive side of the ball. And while I do agree there are some things that deal with coaching, right? Getting the players in the right spots on the field, having them line up, that's coaching. A little bit of the inside linebacker as well, but that's also coaching. Putting the players in spots to be successful, yes, that is coaching. Going through the scheme in practice, that's coaching. Having the appropriate way to tackle, that's coaching. There are a lot of things that deal with coaching. So yes, Pete Golding plays a role. He plays a significant role in why this defense continues to struggle. Now, of course, Pete Golding also got a $250,000 raise in the offseason, so I don't see the man being fired anytime soon just because Saban and the Board of Trustees gave him the big raise. But we'll see what happens there. But I think as much as we want to isolate Pete Golding and have the magnifying glass on him, there is a culmination of reasons as to why the defense looked the way it looked against Florida. And first and foremost, I gotta go to the players on this one. When Nick Saban in press conferences says we have lack of focus, we have lack of intensity, we have lack of energy, we have lack of discipline. When he says lack of those things, coach, you can't coach that. You either have that or you don't. You can't coach effort. You can't coach intensity. You can't coach energy. You can't coach discipline. You either have those in your veins, in your blood as an individual, or you do not have that. You cannot coach having that dog mentality in you where you gonna make a play every single time you on the field. You either have that or you don't have that. I mean, I grew up in the Mike Dubose, Dennis Franchione, Mike Shula, that era. And those coaches didn't have a quarter inch of the talent that Alabama has now with Coach Saban. But those players, those coaches had, you didn't have to tell them about the energy. They were up from the word go. They were ready for the word go. They were pumped up from the word go. They were energized from the word go. Why? Because they felt like nobody was going to outwork us, was going to outplay us, was going to out-tough us, was going to out-physical us. They had that mindset. Those players in that time, they had that mindset from within them. You didn't have to coach it out of them. They had it in themselves. So you can't coach that. Those players, you have to have that in you already. And when I look at this defense, especially the defensive front, I have to ask myself, who are those players? Who has that dog? Who wants ball on this team more than their next breath? Who wants ball more than that drink of water? Who wants ball more than that fried chicken in the back of the refrigerator or on the stove? Who wants ball like their life depended on it? Who wants ball that bad? Who is that hungry? Who is that starving? I remember a few years back, Coach Saban used to have this statement. He hasn't said it in quite some time. But I remember a few years back, Coach Saban used to say, it means something to him. The game means something to him. Putting on that Alabama helmet and that uniform means something to him. Getting out there on that field, it's a tangible energy. It's a connection. It's a vibe, and you feel it. It means something to those players. Who on this defense, it means something to have Alabama playing at that standard. Who on this team, it means something to have Alabama playing with the utmost excellence. Because right now, the only guy I see that it means something to him is Will Anderson. He was out there with banged up knee in the backfield every single time, giving it all he had. If you were going to ask Will to come off, you would have to pull him off the field, kicking and screaming. That's just how bad Will wanted to be on that field. Now, there are some guys that are going to get better. Drew Sanders had a pretty good game. He'll get better. Young, he'll get better. But for guys like Phil Mathis, for guys like Tim Smith, for guys like DJ Dale, for guys like Justin Boydby, for guys like Christian Harris, for guys like Henry To'o, how much does it mean to you? How much does it mean to you to get this Bama team defensively playing to that standard? Where is the dog in you? Where is the fight? Where is the energy? Where's the intensity? Where is the want to? You gotta want this, man. Meek Mill said there's levels to this stuff. You gotta want ball. And if you don't want ball, then Coach Saban has to put guys in that want ball. Whether that's a Jalen Moody, whether that's a Jamil Burroughs, whether that's a Jamarian Latham, I don't care who it is. If they want ball more than what the guys on the field are showing, if they want ball, put them out there. Put them out there, and we will live with that consequence. Because right now, my question is, who on this defense, if I cut your blood open and your blood splattered all over the ground, it spells, I want ball. I don't know anybody on this team right now aside from Will Anderson. If that cut their blood open, it would spill out. I want ball. And that's more of a bigger issue than coaching. You've got to want ball. But that's the second thing. And then to me, I thought the third thing, in a culmination of this, would be just the environment at Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. You got to give Florida a lot of credit. Like, Dan Mullen treated this like the Super Bowl. He got that game sold out. There was no empty seat in that venue. It was standing room only, people sitting on top of people, cars parked on top of cars. It was like you had the biggest rapper at that stadium. Like, you couldn't find where to sit down. I could not hear for 2 hours. They were yelling, screaming. I declare, I felt the foundation shake a couple of times in that game. They treated this like it was their Super Bowl. And Alabama needed this type of game where everything went wrong. Whatever could go wrong did go wrong. They needed that type of game to wake these guys up, especially the young players on the team, because the young players on Bama's team, they feel like we number one. We Bama, we repping this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we comfortable. Like, ain't nobody can check us. We Bama, man. We got the number one ranking in the country, baby. Like, we big bad Bama. You needed that game to let you know, hey, maybe you're not what you thought you was. Maybe you do need some improvement. Maybe there are some areas in your game that you need to work on. And this is what makes Coach Saban the mastermind that he is. He always finds a way to get that game where, see, that needs improvement. See, you got to straighten up here. See, you got to tighten up here. See, you see what I've been trying to tell you? Now, if we play like this against Ole Miss, we're going to get dog walked. We play like this against Ole Miss, we're going to get our butts handed to us inside Bryant-Denny. This is what I've been trying to tell y'all jokers this whole time. And it's better for this to happen at the beginning of the year than at the end of the year. Just saying. So now Coach Saban has the full utmost attention of his football team. So as much as we want to put this completely on Pete Golding, he has a role. He plays a part in this. He is not excused. But at the same time, players who got the dog, players who want it, players who want it. And then you got to give Florida that credit for providing that friction, providing that challenge in week 3 of the season.